Sushant. And on the other side, we've got Harsh Mali, and we're bringing you Achha Sakya podcast, episode number 6, with Dr. Prafulla Wali, who happens to be a psychiatrist, a professional. And today we're going to be talking about mental health in young adults and teens. And we're so delighted that Dr. Prafulla could take out her time and do this with us. We're so delighted to have you on board. Thank you for considering this, Dr. Prafulla. I hope that we do a great episode today.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Sushant. Thank you for having me here.
Harsh, what would you like to add? Are you delighted? Are you happy?
I'm too honored to be in this panel with Prafulla ma'am. That's the thing.
Okay. So moving on, the first question for today would be, Prafulla ma'am, how would you define mental health? Like, people say that if you're happy, if you're content with your own self, that's the parameter, or like that's the peak of being happy with yourself. Is mental health a state of mind where you're happy, or mental health is a state of mind where your mind is completely blank? What is it?
So actually, to define mental health, it is very complex. Let us make it very short. So it refers to cognitive, emotional, and behavioral well-being. So let us divide or split this definition for a better understanding. Okay. So when we tell cognition, what is this cognition? Cognition is a way a person thinks.
Right.
Okay. Emotions are a way person feels. Okay. And behavior, it is how people act or react to certain situations in their life.
Right.
So mental health is all about this cycle of how you think, how you behave, and how you feel.
Right.
Most of the times, people usually use this mental health just to mean absence of a disorder, but it is beyond that. It is basically a state of well-being that enables us to cope with the stressors in our life, realize our capabilities, learn better, work well, and to a greater extent, contribute to our community.
Right.
So coming back to your question, like, is mental health the state of mind where you feel happy or content?
Right.
So these, what we feel happy or being sad. So these are emotions which we develop in certain situations. Okay, as I've told you, only emotions will not define our mental health. It is the way we think.
Right.
We think positively, definitely we'll react positively with people. And if we are reacting positively, definitely we'll feel content, we'll feel happy. So this holistically, the equilibrium between these three parameters is where a mental health or well-being is defined.
Right.
Not just feeling happy is just an emotion.
Right. It's a part of being healthy, or it's a part of having a good mental health.
Yeah. So for example, see, suppose you are working in a office. Okay, you just go to your office, you're working in the office, you certainly don't like specific colleague of yours.
Right.
See, if so what will you develop if you don't like someone? So how will be the thought process regarding them? It will be all negative.
Right.
Whatever she or he tells, you'll take it negatively. You'll always ये क्यों यहाँ बैठी, वो क्यों यहाँ बैठी, वो मेरे को ऐसा बोली, मैं ऐसा करी. All these, what are all these? These are the negative thoughts what we are developing for that person. As a result, do we shake hand, do we say hi, hala, gala, सब करेंगे उसके साथ? नहीं. We avoid her. So this avoidance is a behavior what we are showing as a result of the negative thoughts what we have inculcated. Okay, as develop, better. As a result of which we will feel very irritated, or we feel not happy. So this is the emotion we are developing. The same way, if you like some person, कुछ भी बोल दे, ये मेरा भाई है, ये मेरा दोस्त है, वो कुछ भी बोल दे, इससे ही. The same way, even if he is if we develop, to sum up this, if we develop more positive thoughts, we'll behave in a very positive way, as a result of which we develop positive emotions like happiness.
Right.
And vice versa.
Right.
So this maintaining this equilibrium, this cycle is where our mental health can be defined.
True. True.
मैम मेरा एक क्वेश्चन था कि ये जो पॉजिटिव थॉट डेवलपमेंट आपने कहा वो कहाँ से आता है, मतलब डेली लाइफस्टाइल से आता है पॉजिटिव थॉट, मतलब कहीं ना कहीं से तो आता होगा ना, क्योंकि नेगेटिव थॉट भी आता है तो आता है कि अगर मैं सुबह कुछ गलत हो जाए मेरे साथ तो पूरा दिन खराब हो जाता है, तो फिर नेगेटिव थॉट ही आएगा कि आज दिन खराब है, ये सब। तो ऐसे पॉजिटिव थॉट कहाँ से आता होगा?
या सो इट इज ऑल लाइक हमारा everyone has their own personality, okay? So there are you have certain personalities, उसके साथ certain traits आते हैं. Some people like they are born very anxious, तो उनको ना हर काम करने में they have the second thoughts कि ये करे तो कैसा हो. They usually get those negative thoughts कि ये काम मेरे से नहीं होता, कि नहीं ये काम करे तो कैसा, वो काम करे तो कैसा. So those people, they have to like understand that first कि thinking in certain way is wrong, like this will end up me having some like bad behavior. देखो negative thought आएगा तो काम तो तुम अच्छा ही नहीं करोगे, even though you're very much like you're very much potential to do that work. If you build up कि ये काम मेरे से नहीं होगा, नहीं होगा, नहीं होगा, if you keep on repeating that, obviously you'll end up messing up that work. So try to change the thoughts. Whenever such negative thoughts come na, 10 तुमको negative thoughts आएंगे, you try to neutralize at least one positive thoughts with those 10 negative thoughts, and practice, and definitely there will be the switch.
Ma'am, is there a process of building confidence? As you said that some people are born anxious. So is there a way that where you could come over that anxiousness? Is there a process to it? Like for say, I want to be a stage performer, but I'm very anxious. Some people say that you practice it and you get over it. Obviously, there's a process to it. So is there a process of gaining confidence? Is that a thing?
Say process in sense, first identifying your abilities, your capabilities. Suppose like I am a person whom I am good at study, okay? I developing the interest where I'll act in some movie and I'll become a big star is not my cup of tea, okay? So I don't do something with don't have fantasies which are not in your hand at all, right? Develop fantasies, develop interests which are in your hand, which you are capable of. Or if you're not capable today, you might be able to do that over a period of time. वैसे fantasies रखो life में. If you keep those goals, try to focus on those goals, write steps to achieve those goals, and then you will definitely accomplish them.
True. So it's basically being realistic कि आप कितना achieve कर सकते हो, आप में कितनी capabilities.
Yes.
True.
It's not like capabilities be, or you will work for that also. ऐसा बैठ के नहीं मेरे पास ये capability नहीं है मैं कैसे कर सकता हूँ. It's not like that also.
Right.
See, you develop certain kind of you develop that what to tell, like positivity in you. Certain things can happen. Yes, I can do these things. Let me work on them. Let me sweat on them. Then only I will achieve those goals.
Right. So it's basically doing that each day, every day, till you get better at it.
Yes. Absolutely.
True. Okay. So, ma'am, the other question which I was curious about asking is, are people these days more, how am I supposed to say this? Depressing isn't the right word, but are people these days more tend to have mental problems, or it's just that they are more vocal about it? Is that a thing? Is that a thing? Like people in the past weren't very vocal about having mental issues, but I mean, in 21st century, people of our age are very vocal about it, that I have problems going on within myself. They acknowledge it. इसमें कोई डिफरेंस है क्या, या नॉट डिफरेंस बट इट्स लाइक क्या पहले लोगों को कम प्रॉब्लम होती थी या अब लोगों को ज्यादा प्रॉब्लम होती है, क्या है ये?
Yes. So let me split your question into two different parts. Okay.
Okay.
First part of question, मैडम क्या पहले लोगों को नहीं होता था बीमारी, क्या आजकल हो रही है? नो, देखो पहले लोगों को होता था बीमारियां या नहीं होते थे, we don't know, but the stigma related to that was huge and very huge. Okay, so there was this we can define the stigma in two forms. Okay, one is the personal stigma. First of all, the person who had mental illness would have a lot of stigma within कि मेरे को ऐसा हुआ, whatever he or she experienced, ये क्यों हो रहा है, ये गलत हो रहा है, why am I having this, अगर मेरे को ऐसा हो रहा तो क्या लोग सोचेंगे. So ये build up करते करते they never approached for help. Okay, there was a lot of stigma, and stigma in form of public stigma where definitely the look for a mentally ill is different from that of other conditions. Okay, so because of this very strong stigma and discrimination for mentally ill patients, never any patient approached for seeking help. Okay, but the other hand, nowadays, yes, there are a lot of platforms.
मैम जरा उसके बारे में बात करेंगे मैम. वो होता है ना कि लड़कियां अगर बात करने जाते हैं तो एक टाइम पे लोग बात भी कर लेते हैं, पर लड़कों के लिए स्टीरियोटाइप होता है ना कि अरे लड़का है यार, क्या तू ये सब छोटी बातों में लगा है, आगे बढ़, मर्द ऐसे थोड़ी करते हैं, ये वो, मतलब लड़कों के लिए हमको तो आता. हमने जब कहने की कोशिश की यार ये प्रॉब्लम हो रहा था, अरे इतना सब छोटा मोटा नहीं दिखते, थोड़ा आगे बढ़, ऐसा वगैरह. तो इस बारे में
लेट मी टेल यू. हाँ, लड़कों, तुमको लगता है ऐसा लड़कों के साथ होता है बिकॉज आपके साथ हुआ होगा. So it's quite common to tell like you're a male who is able to like hold on your emotions. तू क्यों मर्द बन, तुम क्यों इमोशनल हो रहा है? हाँ,
लड़की है क्या जो रोएगा?
नहीं, हाँ, लड़कियों की तरह रोएगा. एट द सेम टाइम लड़कियों को क्या बोला जाता है, तू बहुत इमोशनल है, तेरे को ऐसा लग रहा है that, but you will be all fine. For both never a medical advice is told to seek. Okay, तुमको ऐसे बोलेंगे कि come over of your emotions man, come on, it's all hard, you can do it. At the same time females को बोला जाएगा कि yes, your species is like that, you tend to be emotional, you tend to feel low, but it is really very okay. Okay, so कम 2 दिन ऐसे रहोगे, then you'll be completely fine. घूमो थोड़ा, दोस्तों के साथ बात करो, घर का काम करो, and you'll be fine. Both the scenarios it happens. So because of that, both suffer a lot. This is again because of lack of knowledge. Mental illness, मन का दर्द को दर्द नहीं समझा जाता हमारे सोसाइटी में. It is only the physical pain is a pain which you can't bear. Whereas mental pain आज हो रहा है, कल तक फाइन हो जाएगा, नहीं तो परसों तक फाइन हो जाएगा. काम करो, focus on your work and everything will be fine. Why this advice is given? Because of lack of knowledge. Okay, they don't know if this takes a severe form, how bad it can be on the person. They don't know the consequences. For that reason, it is like very taken very lightly. So firstly the education, secondly the stigma part. Because of the stigma also, previously like उसके वजह से शायद लोग बाहर नहीं आते थे, नहीं तो there were very wrong education, like कुछ हो रहा है तो भगवान की वजह से हो रहा है, भगवान कर्स कर रहा है. It is all because you didn't do certain type of sacrifices or puja part. So let us go to temple. Let us, not only काला जादू, but also like हाँ, हमारे घर में ऐसे पूजा होते थे पहले, आजकल नहीं कर रहे, शायद उसके वजह से तुमको ये प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है. Let us get back to the rituals what our traditional our family would follow traditionally since many years, which we stopped. Probably this is happening. Let us get back to that. So ऐसा सोच के वजह से भगवान को जाना, almost they would go years पूजा पाठ करना. Till today this happens. Okay, the second part we still need to talk. Till today it happens, but it is still better. Previously, probably because of these things, much treatment was not sought and much people were not diagnosed with mental illness, and hence the statistics showed like ज्यादातर problem नहीं था. आजकल में क्या हो रहा है, since we have social media, since we have internet, there are loads of professionals coming up on YouTube explaining most common mental conditions, giving examples in very, very understandable multiple languages. So by that we are gaining education, we are gaining knowledge. Oh, ऐसा हो रहा है तो it is not because of some physical condition, it is because of some mental condition. बोल के लोगों को पता चल रहा है. First thing. Second thing, very public figures like celebs, they are all coming up, they are discussing about their mental issue, how they got treated, how they have overcome, and now leading a normal life. So we people, we Indians, we relate more to celebs. अगर celebrity को कुछ हो रहा है, then it is very normal. Okay. Yeah. Probably not even celebrities, but a lot of other people also. Celebs I took because this is very relatable example I could give. Right. So हाँ, अगर दीपिका हुआ है, उसको क्या है, उसके साथ उसके पास तो सब कुछ है, पैसा है, पावर है, सब कुछ है, उसको भी हो रहा, मतलब हाँ शायद ये बहुत कॉमन है. नहीं, शायद ये किसी को भी हो सकता है. ऐसे नहीं है ये पुअर है इसको हुआ है, ऐसे नहीं है ये इसको फैमिली सपोर्ट नहीं है इसलिए हुआ है, ऐसा नहीं है ये होशियार नहीं है उसको हुआ है, ऐसा नहीं. इट कैन अफेक्ट एनीवन. वी डोंट नो द फैक्टर्स कैन बी मल्टीपल, एंड पैसे वालों को साथ भी हो सकता है, हमारे साथ भी हो सकता है. दिस काइंड ऑफ अंडरस्टैंडिंग, दिस काइंड ऑफ नॉलेज पीपल आर गेनिंग. henceforth they are feeling it as very normal to have a problem, and let us go take consultation or let us talk about it and help ourselves. इसके वजह से आजकल में हमको शायद लग रहा है कि बहुत ज्यादा हो रहा है. One point can be that. Second point can be yes, ज्यादा पहले से ज्यादा तो definitely हो रहा है. क्यों? There is a lot of lifestyle changes. There is lot of pressure on teenagers these days. It's in the form of like पढ़ाई को भी बहुत स्ट्रेस है, फाइनेंसेस का बहुत स्ट्रेस है, फ्रेंड्स का दूसरों का लाइफस्टाइल देख के कंपेयर करने का बहुत आदत हो चुका है. सोशल मीडिया देखते लोग बाहर जा रहे, घूम रहे, दोस्त पार्टीज कर रहे, हमको भी वो करना है. XYZ रीजन की वजह से नहीं हो रहा. दिस विल बिल्ड अप एज अ नेगेटिव स्ट्रेस. यस. So there are a lot of and even quite studies even tell the parents are not teaching the children not the coping skills what they should develop in certain chaotic situations. Okay, they are only showing the good part to the children. If बच्चा कुछ मांग रहा है दे दो, he will whatever, they're not showing the bad side of society to the children. They are trying to be overprotective, because of which when they are in very overprotective environment, they feel very fine, relaxed. जो भी मिल रहा है, मांग रहे हैं, मिल रहा है, everything is fine. But once they step out to teenager or being an adolescent, definitely what you want, you will not get everything. At that time, they are not able to handle that stress. वो negativism को handle नहीं कर पाते. Because of that, the teenagers lately are having more of anxiety issues, more of depressive issues,
True,
etc.
Ma'am, do you think Indian society as a whole is very ignorant towards mental well-being? उनके लिए ऐसा होता है कि थोड़ा सा भी कुछ प्रॉब्लम हो, अरे ठीक है, हो जाता है. जैसे अभी आपने बताया कि Indian society doesn't acknowledge the presence of mental well-being.
We spoke a lot about it probably.
Yes.
So
इसका एक reasoning, why is it that people of our society is very ignorant towards mental well-being? अगर थोड़ा सा भी प्रॉब्लम होता तो हम बोलते हैं यार वैसे झाड़ फूक कर दो, और थोड़ा मेजर हो जाता तो दिन पागल हो गया. There is no in between in our society. There is polar opposite. मतलब छोटा सा है तो deal with it, and बहुत प्रॉब्लम हो जाता तो यार पागल हो गया. There's no in between, in Indian society. Why is that? ऐसा क्यों है हमारे साथ?
ऐसा क्यों है, that I've already told. It is because of lack of education and a lot of stigma. like this, because of this stigma, because the way people look up for a mentally ill person, those are all the culprits behind this. But to tell, actually the stigma is being reduced. Like recent agar is fortunately, if we look up to statistics since 20 years down the lane, no, since we entered the 21st century, we are seeing this is showing a decreasing trend. But it is still prevailing to a greater extent in most of the places because of, again, lack of education, because lack of availability of professional help, because of good support and understanding by the family members. This can be some major reasons why we are still behind receiving at par treatment. Guys, when we were talking about this Indian scenario, right?
Right.
Where mental illness being neglected. Let me share an recent estimate with you, where recent study or survey tells like approximately 150 million people across India, they are in need of mental health care interventions.
That's
Okay.
a huge number.
Either they need a short term, some might need a short term, and some might need a long term intervention, but still, yes,
long term.
Yeah. Like this mental health care interventions can be for short or long term, yes, but almost approximately 150 million people require treatment currently.
That's like entire state of Maharashtra.
Yes, and despite this like increasing number, huge number also, people don't take mental health care, or they don't visit a mental health professional. Again, the neglect is solely because of the stigma, taboo, and the myths surrounding it.
That's unfortunate.
मैम मेरा एक क्वेश्चन है कि अगर फिजिकल हेल्थ और मेंटल हेल्थ को हम सेम रख सकते हैं, मतलब अगर दोनों को अलग डिस्टिंग्विश ना करें, तो फिजिकल हेल्थ कैसे हमको पता चल सकते हैं कि अगर हम डाइट हमारा अच्छा रखें तो फिजिकल हेल्थ अच्छा रहेगा, जैसे मेंटल हेल्थ कैसे अच्छा रख सकते हैं कि मेंटल प्रॉब्लम्स ना हो, तो उसके लिए हम क्या कर सकते हैं?
देखो, we can't keep this separately only. Let me tell you that first. Our mental health will define our physical health, and our physical health will define our mental health. Both are interlinked. अगर तुम अपना mental health अच्छा रखोगे, stable रखोगे, then only you will be physically good. For example, to give, most people, तुम सुने होंगे, if you feel very much depressed, you don't feel like to eat. Most common problem क्या बताए थे? खाने का मन नहीं करता, they don't eat, they don't sleep well, they feel very very tired and fatigued. थोड़ा सा भी काम करे तो सुस्त हो जाना. These are some of the symptoms of depression. Okay, but लोगों को सुनने के लिए क्या लगता? It is a physical complaint. Feeling fatigue is a physical complaint. Okay, नींद अगर अच्छा नहीं हुआ हमारा, अगले दिन we will feel very drowsy, again सुस्ती बढ़ जाएगी, dizziness, headache. What are all these? These are again physical complaints. अगर हम खाना नहीं खाएंगे तो nutrients नहीं जाएंगे body में, so what will end up as, we'll have nutritional deficiencies, which again will cause physical illness, right?
Right. It's
तो
basically
ये पार्ट तो हमको मालूम हुआ. Let us talk retrospective. अगर हमारा physical health fit रखेंगे, if we have good balanced diet, if we do regular exercises, good balanced diet कर लेने से हमको nutrients अच्छे मिल जाएंगे. Nutrients again हमारे body build-up होने के लिए अच्छा रहेगा. Because of that हमारा like हमको जो भी brain active रखने के लिए जो भी good like glucose वगैरह चाहिए मिल जाएगा, and we will all set, वहां पर वो सेट हो जाएगा. ठीक है. दूसरी बात, अच्छा एक्सरसाइज करोगे, इफ यू हैव गुड फिजिकल एक्टिविटी, बॉडी में थोड़ा हार्मोन्स रहते हैं, वो रिलीज हो जाएंगे. हार्मोन रिलीज होके क्या होगा? इट हेल्प्स आवर कनेक्शंस, ब्रेन कनेक्शंस को अच्छा काम करने में हेल्प करेगा, राइट? सो व्हाट वाज योर नेक्स्ट की? अच्छा खाना, अच्छा एक्सरसाइज, और अच्छा कैसा फिजिकल हेल्थ रखने के लिए, और क्या बोले थे?
हर्ष क्या पूछ रहा था?
वो ही कि मतलब प्रिवेंशन कैसे हो सकता है कि मेंटल इलनेस ना हो, तो उसके लिए हम
वही
क्या
बोल
कर
रहे ना, फिजिकल हेल्थ रखो, गुड अच्छा खाना खाओ, डोंट ईट प्रोसेस्ड फूड, बाहर का खाना, टॉक्सिक फूड, एनवायरमेंटल टॉक्सिन्स आल्सो कैन प्रेसिपिटेट सम ऑफ द मेंटल इलनेसेस, ओके? तो अच्छा खाना खाओ, गुड एक्सरसाइज करो, boost like there are a lot of hormones which get released when you sweat out, actually when you exercise and sweat out, okay? That will help for a better mental functioning. Develop yourself uh, with positive thoughts रखो, always think positively. अगर बहुत तुमको negative atmosphere में भी कुछ positive ढूंढो उसमें भी, for your mental stability. सब कुछ नेगेटिव है समझो, एक सिचुएशन में इट्स वेरी एवरीथिंग इज नेगेटिव. In that also, at least search one positive aspect for you to get positive thoughts. Think positively. Okay? Surround yourself with positive people. Stop hating people. देखो, if you love people or if you hate people, hate करोगे तो भी दिमाग में रखना है, प्यार करोगे भी तो दिमाग में रखना है. प्यार से रखो so that you will feel good. अगर किसी को, if you love someone, you will feel good. If you hate someone, जब भी उनको देखोगे क्या हो जाएगा? इरिटेट फील हो जाओगे, खुद को इरिटेट फील हो जाएगा, राइट? व्हाट इज दिस इरिटेशन अगेन? इट इज अ इमोशन. तो इरिटेट हो जाओगे. आई हैव एक्सप्लेन्ड यू दैट विशियस साइकिल. तो अगर बंदा इरिटेटेड है तो अच्छे विचार तो नहीं आएंगे, नेगेटिव विचार ही आएंगे. तो नेगेटिव विचार आएंगे तो क्या होगा? नेगेटिव बिहेवियर ही एग्जिबिट करोगे. Because you are irritated with that fellow, you will shout with him, or you'll fight with him, or you'll end up neglecting him. उसके वजह से क्या हो गया? You will develop बहुत सारा नेगेटिव थॉट से डेवलप करोगे उसके बारे में. अगेन नेगेटिव थॉट से तो नेगेटिव बिहेवियर है, नेगेटिव बिहेवियर है तो तुम हैप्पी तो नहीं फील करोगे, डेफिनेटली सैड तो फील करोगे, इरिटेटेड, फ्रस्ट्रेटेड. So these are negative emotions what you again develop. This will again build up. तो ये cycle maintain ही करता रहेगा. For that, best is to break this cycle anywhere possible. कहीं पे भी if you have that possibility to break this vicious cycle, break it. Feel calm, feel relaxed.
Okay. I have another question as well. These days, there are n number of artists. This is a very first world question to us. I am not sure how much it is viable in the Indian society, but there are n number of artists out there on the internet who romanticize having a mental problem. Like, I have got depression, that's why I'm writing good songs. I'm having drugs, that's why I'm writing good songs. I'm always intoxicated. I'm always this, I'm always that. I'm depressed. This girl broke my heart, that's why I'm writing good songs. Do you think it is romanticized to an extent of where you are mentally not healthy, and that's why you are doing such things? Is it not sending a wrong message to the audiences?
Okay, so first to answer this, whomever you are keeping an example and talking about, you should first evaluate their state of mind, their personality, the way they cope to their stressors, or whether they're having any kind of illness. So there are a lot of mental illnesses, okay? To sum up, बहुत ये relevant है इसलिए इनको ही मैं explain कर रही हूँ. In a state of depression, okay, the patient is very much sad, he's very depressed, he doesn't like to talk to other people. कोई भी बात करेगा तो उसको बिल्कुल मन नहीं करेगा, चिड़चिड़ होगा इनफैक्ट कि why they are talking to me, let them like keep me, I want to be alone, just go away. कुछ काम करने का मन नहीं, कुछ किसी में भी दिलचस्पी नहीं, he is not able to concentrate in his work, नींद नहीं, खाना नहीं, कुछ भी नहीं, very isolated kind of feeling, okay? At the same time, a patient who develops something called as mania, okay, so he is always in a state of like heightened state of mood. It can be elation, exaltation, or even state of ecstasy, where he will feel very happy. वो context के लिए खुश होना is not necessary, फिर भी वो खुश होगा for that situation. बड़ी बड़ी बातें करना, ऐसे शो ऑफ करना कि बहुत एनर्जी है जैसे फील कराना कि those people actually if they get even 2-3 hours of sleep they feel like I am very comfortable, अच्छा खासा नींद हो गया, अभी I can work for 48 hours आराम से, और इवन 72 hours, जैसे घोड़े की तेजी से बैठना हमेशा, कुछ भी बोलो कि इवन यू फिनिश योर क्वेश्चन सट से आंसर पैदा करना. So these are some of the symptoms you see in a patient with mania. Okay. Now, when you're telling ki you giving internet as an example where people are coming up telling this, इसमें ऐसा होता है, इसमें वैसा होता है. So we don't know what kind of illness he is suffering with. There are these are two extremes of mood disturbances you can see in a patient. Only when we talk about mood disorders. There is a lot more other than mood disorders in psychiatry, but when it comes to mood, these are two extremes of mood disorders.
True.
So the person can lie in any of the either this extreme or that extreme, or there are in between. Also, there are a lot of terminologies we use for that. Let us not go into that technical terms.
Right.
So he can lie in this scale.
True.
Okay.
Ma'am, with
So, and as you told, are people getting
are they romanticizing having bad mental?
yes. Again, it all depends on how your mental setup is. Okay, if we are like I already told you, we as Indians, we very much relate to celebs. We very much relate to people in social media. अगर इसको like 10k likes है, 20k likes है, वो जो भी बोल रहा है वो सही बोल रहा है.
Right.
Either this thought process they have, or again because of very less or low knowledge about the condition. Okay. They can have such thoughts कि चलो ऐसा बोल रहा है तो ऐसा हो सकता है, मैं भी वैसा करूंगा. And these days people are very much like ये fashion जैसे बन गया है.
हाँ,
Hey
exactly.
guy, I'm not available today because I have a consultation with my therapist. This is a fashionable sentence for them.
Exactly.
So why is this happening? Again, they want to show up कि we are also a part of society. It is all a part of show up. Again, what it tells, again उस बंदे का state of mind ही हमको मालूम होता है. His personality, his state of mind, his way of upbringing, and his certain group of people he is being with. It defines all that. True.
My next question was already answered in this particular answer. I was gonna ask, has social media changed the society for good or bad? I mean, obviously, so with the rise of social media, people are coming up on the internet and expressing their problems. But at the same time, internet can everyone is like, yeah, I also have this, I also have that.
Yeah.
That's
so
very...
Sushant, beware, you're talking to a psychiatrist now.
I'm so sorry.
मेरा एक क्वेश्चन था कि जब हम यूजुअली लास्ट अगर किसी का बच्चे का हम पूछे कि लास्ट उसका मेंटल हेल्थ कब अच्छा था, तो वो यूजुअली ना स्कूल डेज की बात करता है. मतलब एक नॉस्टैल्जिया हिट करता है कि वो टाइम पे जिंदगी बहुत अच्छी हुआ करती थी. उसके बाद से जब से स्कूल छूटा तब से जिंदगी डिक्लाइन ही हुई है, मतलब उनका मानना होता है. तो ऐसा क्या होता है कि बचपन से जब अडल्ट होते जाते हैं तब वो मेंटल हेल्थ का प्रॉब्लम बहुत बढ़ते ही जाता है?
मेंटल हेल्थ का प्रॉब्लम बढ़ते ही जाता है वैसे नहीं. देखो, जब वी आर इन अवर चाइल्डहुड, ओके, वी आर वेरी मच प्रोटेक्टेड. एट होम वी आर प्रोटेक्टेड बाय आवर पेरेंट्स. एट स्कूल वी आर प्रोटेक्टेड बाय आवर टीचर्स. अगर किधर भी खेलने जाओ वी आर प्रोटेक्टेड बाय आवर लाइक सिस्टर्स, ब्रदर्स. वी आर नेवर लेफ्ट लाइक ओपन. When talking in a society, we are being brought. And our parents, these days many of the parents have this wrong notion कि बचपन में मैं कुछ चाहता था, मेरी मम्मी पापा मेरे को नहीं दिलाए, नहीं कराए. I don't want to deprive that. I want my child to experience my childhood. नहीं है वैसा. ये सोच ही गलत है. So
हाँ
in a hand where we are getting nurtured, उनका सोच ही थोड़ा change हो रहा है, because of which the children, they are getting everything they want.
Mm-hmm.
आज कुछ पूछ लिया,
हम्म,
आज बाहर दरवाजे के बाहर ठहरा दिया, आज यहाँ जाना है चलो, वहां जाना है चलो, ये खाना है चलो, there is no restriction at all. Okay, but बचपन में कितना होता है, छोटा सोच होता है, छोटी छोटी इच्छाएं होती है, बहुत बड़ा हम क्या माउंट एवरेस्ट पूछ लेंगे, कुछ नहीं, वहां पर चढ़ना है पूछ लेंगे, क्या
हम्म,
नहीं, छोटे छोटे से टॉफी, चॉकलेट, डिज्नी, ये पार्क ले चलो, इतना ही, बिकॉज वी आर ओनली इन दैट कि हम कार्टून देखेंगे, हम दीदी का
हाँ
देखेंगे, भैया का देखेंगे, इतना ही पूछेंगे. बट दिस इज नॉट द सेम व्हेन वी
हम्म,
come out of schooling. Okay, we enter into a world, a
हम्म,
unprotected world. We'll meet thousands of
हम्म,
people. Okay, so ऐसे नहीं होता है कि स्कूल में इस रूम से उस रूम हम जा नहीं सकते विदाउट परमिशन. ऐसे तो कॉलेजेस में नहीं होता. से ऑल ऑफ अ सडन यू मीट diverse people with diverse mentality, different choices, different opinions. तो जब तुम वो वर्ल्ड एंटर कर जाओगे विन दिस प्रोटेक्टेड एनवायरनमेंट, यू बिकम वेरी परप्लेक्स्ड. अगर ये बंदा कुछ बोल रहा है, वो बंदा कुछ
हम्म,
बोल, किसका सुने, किसका करे.
हाँ
एंड इन दिस कंफ्यूज्ड स्टेट, नो, हम ऐसा चूज कर लेते हैं जहां पर हमको लाइक वी गेट दैट अटेंशन. ओके, हमेशा लाइक डूइंग बैड विल बी वेरी इजी देन डूइंग गुड, राइट. तो हमको तो लाइक दिस थिंग की आज सोशल मीडिया में एक फोटो डाल दिया, सब लाइक करे, कमेंट करे, क्या होता, बहुत अच्छा लगता है, चलो चलो सब ऐसा कर रहे.
हाँ
Serotonin or
We
dopamine
will
rush
go
मिलता है
into that
इसमें.
trap. Yes, we will go into that trap. Okay, तो ये करेंगे तो हमको ऐसा फीलिंग आएगा. सपोज वो करें, उसी टाइम अगर फ्रेंड्स सारे सोशल मीडिया पे फोटो डाल रहे, उसी टाइम मैं जाकर पढ़ाई करूं, दैट्स समथिंग awkward, right? Something wrong
Right.
with where where I'll not feel happy. My
हम्म,
like हाँ, तो क्या होगा, we will search for some very easy means of feeling happy in life. तो दैट इजी मीन्स करते करते हमको इतना आलसी हो जाएंगे, इतना आदत हो जाएगा हमको. वी ऑलवेज वांट दैट थिंकिंग. अगर ये बंदा ऐसा कर रहा है तो सब उसके पीछे जाओ, वही करो. उसको 10,000 लाइक मिलेंगे, मेरे को 20,000 मिलेंगे.
Hmm.
मैं टिकटॉक करूंगा, मैं रील्स करूंगा.
Hmm. It's a never
एंड
ending cycle.
विद, या, बिकॉज ऑफ दिस फैंसी लाइफस्टाइल, समवेयर दे आर इनटू स्ट्रेस कि इंडिविजुअल कैसे स्ट्रेस लेगा. एक फोटो को 10,000 लाइक मिले, उसी दूसरे फोटो को 9,999 लाइक मिले, तो भी ही फील स्ट्रेस.
हाँ
Hmm.
यस,
कि एक
बिकॉज
कम क्यों आया.
हाँ, we are dragging ourselves into social media, into multiple this social platforms so much that even we are not able to take criticisms. We are not
Mm-hmm.
even, that's the place where we get lot of bullied. We get lot of like what to tell, we actually uh, we want to know from people that how we are.
Mm-hmm.
We are
Right.
so ready for
हम्म,
criticism.
We
Yeah,
want to get
we
validated always.
वैलिडेशन चाहिए.
validated. हाँ,
वैलिडेशन चाहिए. हाँ
हम जो है, हम क्या है, वो हमको नहीं चाहिए. वो क्या बोल रहा है मेरे बारे में, we are so into
हम्म,
that state of mind that we are losing time for ourselves, sitting and thinking what we actually are. We want
True.
validation for everything we do. We
Right.
want certification for everything we do. We
Right.
want people to tell us every time. Because of this, there is lot of stress which gets created.
True. True.
Yeah,
हम्म,
it is all our like हमारे mentality की वजह से ही हमको बहुत एक प्रेशराइज्ड सिचुएशन में एंटर करने का नौबत आ रहा है. दैट्स इट.
क्वेश्चन था कि अगर समझो हमारा कोई दोस्त है या कजिन वगैरह है जिसका
हम्म,
मेंटल इश्यू का प्रॉब्लम है, ठीक है,
हम्म,
वो अपने माँ बाप से बात करने की कोशिश करता है कि मम्मी पापा ऐसा कुछ तो हुआ है, मुझे प्रॉब्लम हो
हम्म,
रहा है, ठीक है, पर मम्मी पापा वही पुराने स्टीरियोटाइप वाले हैं कि ये सब कुछ नहीं होता वगैरह वगैरह है. हाँ, तो टेक्निकली वो फाइनेंस जमा नहीं कर पाएगा थेरेपी के लिए. हाँ,
हम्म.
तब उसको क्या करना
Yes.
चाहिए. इसकी हम कैसे मदद कर
तो
सकते
क्या होता, sorry, yeah, definitely that is a challenge on us also. It is not
हैं?
only
हाँ.
to someone who is suffering, because like we never like take a patient without an informant. Informant can be a person who stays with the patient, whether mama, papa, bhai, koi bhi ho, who stays with the person, who knows about the person, who can give adequate information about him and the changes in him. Okay, because a person who is mentally ill, he actually doesn't know the way he is behaving or what all
Yes.
problems he's having. Not every time. When you're talking about neurotics like depression, anxiety, and all, definitely they'll know what is happening and all. But at the same time, when it comes to psychosis, जैसे साइकोसिस में क्या होता है, बंदा विल नॉट बी इन टच विद द रियलिटी, उसको ही एक भ्रम का जीवन जीता रहता है वो, he'll be,
हाँ.
हाँ, तो he can never tell about him क्या हो रहा है क्या नहीं, all for that time definitely we want someone with him. तो मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम इन साइकोटिक केसेस ये प्रॉब्लम नहीं होता, बिकॉज लोग जान जाते हैं जब कोई भी नहीं रहता, इनो बात कर रहे उनो बात कर रहे, अकेले में हंसना, अकेले में रोना, दे द फैमिली मेंबर्स आर सो फियरफुल, दे विल डेफिनेटली रश. तो साइकोटिक्स को ट्रीट करने में कभी भी दिक्कत नहीं होता, कभी भी प्रॉब्लम नहीं होता, बिकॉज दे आर आइडेंटिफाइड वेरी इजीली. प्रॉब्लम जब होता व्हेन यू आर हैविंग अ न्यूरोटिक प्रॉब्लम, लाइक हो गया एंजाइटी, लाइक हो गया डिप्रेशन, लाइक हो गया
hypertension,
some kind of hyper, yeah, some kind of somatic problems, like so sometime हो गया like some kind of conversion problem symptoms. तो इस conditions में क्या होता है, the family members will take time to notice changes in the person.
true,
Okay, तो उनको वो चेंजेस दिखाई देंगे तो भी उनको ज्यादा दिक्कत नहीं लगती. ये क्या है, दुख हो रहा है, सैड फील, रोना आ रहा है, रो ले, खत्म, रो ले, आराम लगेगा, then start. This is the common thing, what is, start your work, do whatever you want to do, काम करो, घर का काम करो, पढ़ाई करो, and you'll be all fine. Which will not be possible because it will be, ये सब एक न्यूरोट्रांसमीटर लेवल पे होता है, मतलब केमिकल लेवल पे होता है. जब हमारे दिमाग में केमिकल का इम्बैलेंस होता है तब ऐसे नेगेटिव थॉट्स आना, सोच आना, वो सब होता है. ओके, यूजुअली यू एज यू टोल्ड कि वो जाके मम्मी पापा को कन्विंस करते हैं, मैडम जब नहीं सुनते क्या करना है. ओके, एनी टाइम इट इज एडवाइजेबल टू सीक प्रोफेशनल हेल्प, बिकॉज यू नेवर नो हाउ सीवियर योर सिम्टम्स आर और हाउ मिनिमम द सिम्टम्स आर. ओके, whenever possible please go consult a doctor. अगर फिर भी नहीं हो पा रहा, you are in a situation, you are in a condition where these things are not happening, तो maximum if these will happen only in mild cases. Moderate to severe cases definitely family members notice करके they will definitely do some or the other thing. mild cases में हम क्या कर सकते हैं, हम अपने आप को एक लोगों के साथ रखना, like not sitting alone and thinking about those problems only frequently. वैसे नहीं, try to change the thoughts. अगर मानो तुम you are sitting in your room and you're feeling very low, you're feeling like to end your life, you're feeling very hopeless, just come out of there. वहां से बाहर आ जाओ, talk to someone, talk to someone of unrelated topic. Don't tell कि मेरे को ऐसा फील हो रहा है इसलिए मैंने तुमको कॉल किया. Best way is to distract yourself. Distracting in both the ways, moving out from the place and talking to people with something, some other random topic other than what you are feeling, what you are suffering. क्या होता है when you call up, like usually बोलते हैं ना, ए मेरे से बात कर ले, you'll be fine and all. When you call and when you keep on telling about the problems you have, no, your mind is very much preoccupied. तो उसी के बारे में it ऐसे रिवाइंड होता जाएगा, उसी के बारे में बात करते 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 वो बिल्डअप ही होता जाएगा, ना कि कम होगा. तो इससे तुमको और प्रॉब्लम ही होगा, कम तो नहीं होगा डेफिनेटली. तो एक थिंग, डिस्ट्रैक्टिंग इन अ वे, दिस कैन बी डन. सेकेंडली, बी वेरी माइंडफुल अबाउट, माइंडफुल मतलब लिव इन टुडे, नाउ एंड देन, व्हाट इट, आज के बारे में सोचो, अब के बारे में सोचो। डोंट थिंक अबाउट द पास्ट कि ऐसा था, अभी ऐसा क्यों हो रहा है, नहीं तो ऐसा हुआ मेरे जीवन में, इसकी वजह से ऐसा हो रहा, कोई मेरे को डिच किया इसलिए मेरे को दुख हो रहा है, कोई मेरे को समवन बैकस्टैब नहीं, ऐसा हुआ, मेरे दोस्त ने मेरे मेरे को ही लाइड टू मी, इसलिए ऐसा फील हो रहा है। डोंट थिंक अबाउट व्हाट ऑल वेर द ट्रिगर्स, एंड डोंट थिंक अबाउट द फ्यूचर, अभी मेरा क्या होगा, हाउ विल आई सर्वाइव, व्हाट विल आई डू। सपोज मोस्ट सपोजिटली एक ब्रेकअप हो गया, अभी मैं उसके बिना जीवन कैसे करूं, वो नहीं है, करेंटली वो नहीं है। थिंक अबाउट नाउ, हाउ टू सस्टेन एंड सर्वाइव नाउ।
राइट।
ऐसा क्या होगा, if you think about the past or you keep thinking about the future, you become very anxious, you become very nervous, you you will have pile of thoughts which are again very negative, very distressing and disappointing from your side.
True.
So if you think about the current प्रॉब्लम, अभी कैसा फील हो रहा है, अभी के बारे में सोचो, अभी क्या कर रहे हो सोचो, तुम्हारे थॉट प्रोसेस को तुम एक तरीके के लाइक योर स्ट्रीम ऑफ थॉट्स को तुम बहुत रिस्ट्रिक्ट कर रहे हो। जब रिस्ट्रिक्ट करोगे तो जो भी प्रॉब्लम, जो भी डिस्कम्फर्ट होगा वो कम होगा, बिकॉज यू आर रिस्ट्रिक्टिंग योर थॉट्स। जो भी आउटकम मिलेगा डेफिनेटली कंपेयर टू दोस्त कम ही होगा, राइट। enjoy doing involve yourself in doing things which you like, okay, जो भी तुमको अच्छा लगेगा, like some people like painting, some people gardening, some people like to go out party with your friends, जो भी तुम्हारे मन को अच्छा लगता है just go and do that, okay, do that thing। नहीं तो you take time out for yourself, know about yourself कि what I am feeling, बैठो सोचो अभी ऐसा फील हो रहा है, ओके लेट मी थिंक अबाउट इट, और क्या हो सकता है। जब तुमको दुख होगा, लाइक थोड़े थॉट्स आएंगे तो बुरा फील होगा, ये बुरा कब तक फील होगा, लेट मी सी दैट। जब कुछ भी फीलिंग हो रहा है इट इज नॉट परमानेंट, वो तो जाएगा ही, लेट मी एक्सपीरियंस दैट, लेट मी फील दैट,
Let me quantify it basically.
yes, okay, then you can do something like giving time for your body, do good physical activity, physical activity माने you have to sweat, go to a walk, go do jogging, involve yourself in some games, outdoor games, whichever you like। तो इससे क्या होगा, again as I told, थोड़े hormones, थोड़े chemicals release हो जाएंगे, and you'll for that point of time you'll feel good।
True.
You can try those distracting things, okay, or you can try to have realistic goals, as I have told you previously। Goal set karo, think about how to reach to that goal, and start taking a baby step towards that goal। So these things you can do to make yourself better, or just rush to a professional, they will definitely 100% help you, no doubt।
प्रफुल्ल मैम के पास सारे जाएंगे, हुआ बेस्ड इन बॉम्बे, बुटीक हुआ saying okay,
Yes.
now that we're signing off, Prafulla ma'am, is there anything or any advice which you'd like to give our listeners and viewers, ki how to keep themselves well, how to look after the people who are with them, जिसके लिए आप वेल विशिंग करते हो, अपने अपने आप को कैसे अच्छे से रखें, और दूसरों को अपने अराउंड जो है उनको कैसे अच्छे से रखें?
In bits we have talked about it, again let me sum up। देखो, पहला, अच्छा रहने के लिए लोगों के बारे में अच्छा सोचो, stop hating people, whatever it is, however it is, कुछ भी, whatever they have done to you, it is their sip of tea, okay। only if you develop hatred तो definitely वो आपको भी किसी ना किसी in a way it will affect you also, definitely you can be calm and relaxed। so जो भी है surrounding में, stop hating people, surround yourself with people you love, people whom you care, or people whom care you। think about yourself, think about your what you know, what you like, what you're good at, and try doing that. Or not your something you're not good at, try to achieve that. Okay, then first of all, value yourself. Thank yourself for being what you are, or scold yourself for being what you are, and tell yourself that I'll change for my better. Always value yourself. There are take time for that, actually. Do that thing. Then again, as I told, hobbies, stick onto your hobbies. Don't be so busy into your day-to-day life. You don't have time for your hobbies or what you like. Go out with friends. Go to at least some trips, if not any. साल में एक दो बार तो break that monotony, break that everyday living. जाओ, give time for your mind to refresh, and again get back to your work. Okay.
True.
And one more thing. Seeking help is a sign of strength. It is never a sign of weakness. Remember that. Whenever you feel you have a problem, seek help for that problem. It is always a sign of strength.
True.
It's not that you're very weak, so you're going or extending your arms for help.
True. Now that we're signing off, I'd like to thank the people who are watching this, who listen to this. And if you are experiencing any kind of problems in your life, go seek professional help. As ma'am said earlier, that it's not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength, that you acknowledge that you've got problems, and it takes guts and patience to acknowledge that you have got a problem. This is Sushant signing off from Acha Hai Sakya podcast with Dr. Prafulla and Harshmali. We had a great time. Thank you.
Thank you.